Hey everyone, it's Riley, and today it's time to set up December in my bullet journal. So I love this time of year. I love it for the cozy, the winter, the Christmas, all those kind of vibes in bullet journals. I also love it because I'm setting up for next year already, which is so exciting. So if you don't want to miss videos like that, like 2023 setup, December, like other ideas you can use for December, all that kind of stuff will be coming to my channel in the next couple of weeks. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. So as usual with this video, I'm going to have all of my supplies linked down below. So I used one of the journals from my own shop in the color green. The color green is not in right now, but I am hoping to launch some fun new journals. Maybe I will have by now. I'm not really sure. But anyways, whether I have or haven't, there will be old journals, new journals, whatever there is, will be available down in the description. You can find all of the links down there. I also put discount codes there for the other supplies that I'm using. So if you're interested in anything that I use throughout this video or that you've seen in other videos, chances are you can get yourself a better price if you head to my description box. So for today's theme, I decided to go with something Christmassy, something cozy, just something that really captures this season because I love this time of year. I mean, I don't love the cold. I'm from Canada. I don't love that part, but I do absolutely love just celebrating and spending time with family. And this year, as you guys may or may not know, I did have a baby back in August. So this is like a baby's first Christmas, which is so cute and even more exciting. So I really wanted to capture just everything that I love about this time of year in my bullet journal theme here, while also keeping it simple. I still like to keep my themes simple. I'm not really over the top with that kind of stuff. So this whole thing only took me about half an hour to set up all the pages that I will need for my monthly spreads in December. So I want to get into the setup right away. I also did want to mention, and I mentioned this in my November Plan With Me video, but I wanted to mention that in the new year, I'm hoping to come out with some sort of calligraphy resource for you guys, because one of the most common requests that I get is for like calligraphy tutorial video or some kind of calligraphy tutorial. So I wanted to ask you guys here and over on Instagram. I've been doing some polls and stuff like that. Please follow me on Instagram if you like to be involved in like my decision making. Like whenever I design a new thing, or even just like need bullet journal spread ideas, I always post that kind of stuff in my Instagram stories so that you guys can have input and I can take those ideas and make it happen. So what I want to know is what kind of format you think would be best for teaching you guys how I do my calligraphy. So I could do like little sort of like a workbook that you print off, you buy on Etsy for pretty cheap, and you print it off and you can like trace over different letters and learn different techniques and stuff like that. Or I could do it in video format. I could do either like a really short video on YouTube, or I could do like a series of longer videos, like multiple hours of videos where we go over each letter and how you can get kind of different effects on each letter. Or I could do what I used to do, actually, I used to teach this online, like on Zoom, to teenagers. It was on a platform called OutSchool. It was really fun. But I could do that kind of thing for adults as well. If you wanted to do like in person, maybe we meet like once a week for 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. And then you can actually get feedback on your calligraphy. Yeah, those are just a few options. I don't really know what would work best, but that's why I want to hear from you guys. So comment that below, join me on Instagram if you want to give your feedback for all those kind of decisions. And now let's finally get into the plan with me. So here is the journal that I'm using for today's setup. Like I said, it's available in my Etsy shop. Well, not this exact one, but I am so excited to announce that I am coming out with more that will be ready for the start of 2023. And I have made some changes. The ones that I made this year, so the green one that I'm using, there was a blue one and a pink one, and they were all like the same idea. They all had that little kite design on the front cover. They were all made with vegan leather, 160 pages that are 160 GSM, stark white, all that kind of stuff. I am making a few changes to the next round of bullet journals. There will be more pages, 192. Also, the covers aren't going to be vegan leather. They're going to be this fun linen fabric this time. But what else has changed? Lots of things are going to stay the same. So there's still going to be like the elastic closure, 2 bookmarks, 160 GSM paper, stark white dot grid. Oh yes, I am adding a pen loop as well. Some of the feedback that I got from you guys on Instagram after I launched these ones was that you would love to see more pages and a pen loop. Lots of you guys also mentioned that you'd love to see a B5 journal, and I'm hoping that I can do some of those in the future as well, but for now it'll still just be A5, and I will be selling blank dot grid journals, like where the pages are empty, but I'll also be selling my undated planner, which I've mentioned in a couple videos. I'm not going to talk too much more about it here because I will do a whole video dedicated to that one, so keep your eyes out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But for today, as you can see, I'm setting up a title page and a tasks page for December. And the theme that I went with is a very simple theme to put together. Every time I say that line, I just feel like a broken record, but it's true. That's one of my priorities with my bullet journal, is just keeping it really like easy. I don't spend a ton of time planning out my doodles, planning out all my different spreads. I don't want to. That would make it a burden to me, and that's not the point of bullet journaling. So anyways, it is a very easy theme. Just doodle those little mittens. I drew like a loose outline around the mittens with a size 01 fine liner, and then just used a white gel pen to make a bunch of different random designs on top, and then kind of sprinkled some little like sparkles that could look, yeah, either sparkly or like snow. I don't know, whatever you're feeling for December. And this theme was kind of inspired by a creator on Instagram. I'll have her account linked below. Her name is Amiza Omar, and I hope I'm saying that right, but I really don't know if I am, so I'm sorry if I'm not. But I love her journals. They're so beautiful. And so I think it was last November, she did a theme with like these little mushroom doodles that don't look anything like mittens, obviously, but they were kind of done in a similar way, where like she had that loose outline around it, and she used some of those sparkles around there and did like a bold black line going with it, which I did for the outline, like the border there. So anyways, pieces of it were inspired by Amiza Omar. I'm gonna link her account down below. And the supplies that I'm using for today's video, you can see I'm using one Tombow and one Crayola Super Tip as my main markers. The Tombow is number 228. I use this marker pretty much every month. And the Crayola Super Tip, unfortunately they don't have numbers, but it is part of the pack of 100, and I'm gonna have all this stuff linked down below. Then I've got my fine liners here and the Tombow Fudenosuke that I used for the headings so far. So for my tasks page, I'm sticking with 4 boxes. I realize in December, I'm probably not going to get around to doing very many tasks. I really just like to focus on Christmas. You know, as soon as the first like week or two of December is passed, no more work for me. I am in full holiday mode. So I'm going to write in the titles using these pegs stamps. So I showed these very briefly in a different video. I'm going to link them here because I talked a little bit more about them. But you didn't really get to see them in action. So here you can see they just like click together, the letters, so you can just put together the words that you want and then go ahead and start stamping. So I've got home and work, and then my other 2 categories here will be lifestyle and other. So the set that I'm using from Pegs right now is the American Typewriter in size small. They have a bunch of different sizes, bunch of different fonts. I'm gonna link that stuff below for you guys. And they sell other stamps too, not just alphabet stamps. So in just a couple seconds or minutes, I don't even know here, you're going to see some other stamps that I have from them, which is like a calendar cube where you can rearrange the numbers to set up the calendar for whatever month. It's really neat concept. So anyways, right now I'm using a large fine liner. This is a size 06 to draw my calendar. So the calendar I'm keeping sort of the same as usual. The spacing is the same as usual, but the concept is different. So the spacing for the boxes here is 5 dot grid spaces wide by 6 tall, but you'll see over to the right hand side, normally I would just like leave that side open and have like 2 boxes there. One that says YouTube, and that has my posting schedule, and then one that says focus, and I do like a little focus for each week. But this time what I decided to do, oh yeah, here's the calendar cube. I'm just going to use the numbers to fill in my calendar. This time what I decided to do with my calendar was, instead of having the YouTube and focus in the margin there, I just extended each week so that for each week, I'm just gonna write in what I'm posting that week, what needs to be edited that week, what needs to be filmed that week. So taking what I used to write in the YouTube box and the focus box and instead just lining it up with each week in the calendar. I'm gonna give it a try and see how I like it. Another thing that I changed with this calendar is I often like to do my calendars with a lighter marker, like a light gray or something like that. And I kind of regret doing it with this thick black pen. I like the way it looks right now, but I know that when it comes time to actually write in events in December, you know, like when we're going to visit my family, we always spend quite a few days there. So I like to do like a fun little doodle across all the days that we're going to be somewhere. And the black line for the calendar boxes will kind of interrupt those doodles, but whatever, it's going to work just fine. So I'm completing the doodles here, again, just doing like a loose outline with a small little fine liner and then adding some sparkles all over the page. Alrighty, so moving on to the final page in this setup. Normally I would stop my monthly setup right there. That's really all that I need on a regular basis is my title page, tasks page, and then a calendar with kind of my YouTube dashboard on the side there. But since it's December, I decided to add another page, which I did last year too, just kind of a Christmas spread. So this year I kept it super simple. There's not even really going to be any doodles on this page. I just used this really fun holiday washi tape from the washi tape shop to set up this page. Now, if you buy the holiday set of washi tape, which I would recommend because it's really fun to use for like wrapping gifts and even making like little gift tags and stuff like that. There are so many cute options and I could not decide which one to use for the top and bottom border. It was between this one and then there's one that has a print with like little gifts and reindeer and mittens and stuff like that, and it's so cute too. But I decided to use this green one to just to match with like the mittens that I've been drawing on all the other pages, because I decided not to do any doodling on this page. Instead, I'm going to use like colorful, fun fonts and doodles to fill in these boxes. So this spread is going to look pretty plain for now, just like the calendar spread did, honestly. But that's because I plan to go in and fill in these boxes with more color and fun stuff. So these boxes are for the Christmas holidays, both for like planning, but also for reflecting. I don't do a ton of reflecting in this journal anymore because I started doing a separate memories journal here in 2022, but honestly, I never opened that journal. I feel so bad because I thought that moving my memory keeping into a separate journal would just give me more space to keep track of memories, but instead it's just made it completely slip my mind to keep track of memories. So I'll probably have to do some reconfiguring next year. But anyways, I've got a section for a timeline for Christmas, things I need to buy, things I need to wrap, a section for people that I owe. I don't know about you guys, but like buying gifts for like my siblings and stuff, my sister and I will often like split things, so she'll pay for it, I'll pay her back. Anyways, that's what that's for. A to pack list for when we go visit my family over Christmas, and then I've got a little highlights box for the Christmas holidays. So going to do a quick little flip through here. We've got the title page and the tasks list for December. Then I have my monthly calendar here. Excuse the baby, my husband's with them. And finally, I have my little Christmas spread for the holiday season. Thank you all for setting up December with me in my bullet journal. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing that, and I hope to see all of you in my next video.